I think at this point it's safe to say we all know who Rachel Zegler is. I did not know who the hell she was until she committed this sin. I call it a sin. She sinned against Disney, the company that was about to make her probably one of the biggest stars in the world. One of the biggest stories, fictional children's stories ever told. Fictional stories ever told. She would have been, I think she would have been one of the biggest stars. Her career would have been crazy. Now, she's known, but not for the right reasons. Imagine getting hired, right, because this is the level she was at. Imagine getting hired as the CEO of Starbucks and completely hating coffee, completely putting it down, doing TikTok videos about how coffee's bad for you, coffee's disgusting, coffee's just whatever, and I'm going to change the whole taste of coffee because coffee is bad. Imagine. That's what she did. Let's go ahead and watch Rachel Zegler snaps online because she's been snapping. She has snapped. I don't know what this girl's going to do now. I don't know who her management was that let her do this, who was her advisors, who ill-advised her. But before we get started on this, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that notification bell every time that I post another video, and watch the whole video all the way through, guys. It really, 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 really helps the channel, and it really helps me do my videos outside like this with a cigar. Let's go ahead, man.
No, I've been getting a lot of questions about, like, how do I feel? Let's address the elephant in the room.
I just wanted to go on this little baby rant about Rachel Zegler, Disney's worst investment ever in the history of Disney investments.
Rachel Zegler is a loudmouth dope.
Snow White producer's son blames Rachel Zegler for poor box office.
She has this underlying anger and hatred in her that always has to take it like one step too far. First and foremost, if you're going to be cast as Snow White, maybe appreciate the original Snow White.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
God forbid a woman dream about true love. We're all just sitting around here, oh, maybe I could be president one day. I hate that. I just want to be president.
Fastest way to tank your career, go out there and start running your mouth and trashing the original IP of the film you're in.
Great. It's great. I'm honored. I don't know why I sound so angry right now. I'm honored. Am I a psychopath?
Rachel Zegler,
Yes,
Hollywood's self-proclaimed next big thing, drags a few loyal pals into a theater to watch her woke Snow White remake. The lights dim, the credits roll, and crickets. This wasn't just a flop, it was a 200.
Bro, I don't know anyone in this day and age who hates the original Snow White. Nobody but her. The original Snow White, bro. The original Snow White or the original Cinderella. Those are classics. That's like hating on Michael Jackson. You just can't hate on Michael Jackson or Elvis. You cannot hate Michael Jackson or Elvis. No way you can hate Michael Jackson. There's no way. I won't believe you. It's fake news if you do. This woman hated, not only that, she went against one of the biggest mafias. I think I'd rather go against the mafia, bro. Because Disney, bro, I live right by, Disney's right there. I'm pointing at it. It's right there. Right next to me. I live right, I used to live across the street from Disney, from the Magic Kingdom, on the backside in Windermere. Now I live down a little more by farm town, but Disney's right there. They run everything here. Everything here is powered by Disney. And that's just here. Disney has also California. Disney's powerful everywhere. Disney's a powerful company, bro. You can't just come here and trash something that they did, something that made them that powerful company, and think that you're going to get off scot-free.
$170 million face plant. And who's at the center of this fairy tale gone wrong? Our princess of unshakable confidence, Rachel Zegler. Welcome back to reality, Your Highness. As of April 1st, the wreckage is still smoldering. Disney's latest numbers confirm this disaster's only getting uglier.
Do you want to be Snow White or do you hate Snow White? Do you want to destroy Snow White? They went way too woke. They ended up kind of changing the whole movie. And
Rachel Zegler's massive ego and unrelenting woke crusade turned Snow White into a box office poison apple. Her charm didn't wake this sleeping giant, not even close. Rachel and her crew, Ilda, Jorge, Remy, Maria, roll up, popcorn buckets in hand, ready to cheer her name. Ilda's screaming it on Instagram stories like a talent show hype woman, but the theater's empty. So they try a TikTok skit. 2 tickets, please, the Regal guy asks. For which movie?
please?
For which movie?
For which movie? I'd still be like, for which movie? I would have given her for free. Here, nobody's buying
She's
these.
clutching her Snow White swag, smirking as if he's the idiot for not knowing. I mean, hello, it's Rachel Zegler. How could it not be Snow White? Silly peasant, doesn't he know she's the star? The camera pans to their theme buckets and cups, all giggles and goofy faces. Oh, Rachel, you thought this was a viral slam dunk? Your fame so obvious it's laughable, he'd ask. Instead, it's please laugh at my flop cringe. Her ego stealing the spotlight in the saddest way. And now, with the film tanking harder than a Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light campaign, that clip's aging like milk, mocked across X as the delusion of a star who thought she'd outshine the original.
Bro, there's nobody in there.
Greatest Disney box office bomb in the history, Disney live action remakes, but certainly also the end of her career.
Rachel's clutching a bouquet in that empty theater, probably a pity gift because the box office wasn't handing out awards. She once said, people will wait in line to see my films despite my flaws.
To everyone who hates when I win.
My granddaughter does not want to see that, you know that? She's like, hey, want to go see Snow White? She's like, she's not enthused. She's like, The Minecraft movie, yeah, my sons want to see it. My wife wanted to see Snow White because she thinks that it's like the original, but just a live action. And I told her, well, I don't think it's like the original. You know, I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, they're too woke, I'm not going to go see it. I just have no interest in seeing it. Even if it was like the original, I'm just, you know, I like guns and stuff. So, you know, I like action, you know what I mean? But listen, I didn't believe in go woke. What is it? Go woke, go broke, or stay woke, go broke. Whatever that saying is. I thought it was just something that, you know, the ultra right conservatives were saying, and I was like, oh, maybe that's just them going back. Nah, it's true, bro. That's a real statement. That's 100% true.
When the winged victory came to the Louvre in pieces, and people still line up to see her. That at every premiere and everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
Oh, sweetie, the only line now is the internet ready to roast you. And roast they did. Sean Ono Lennon, John Lennon's son, called her a disconnected brat on March 31st per Yahoo, saying her flop was no surprise. Even with her career hitting $700 million total, thanks to Hunger Games, this second highest grosser of hers is a hollow victory. Proof her ego's outpacing her pull.
When a cartoon character that was voiced in the 30s has more humanity and charm than the actual person who was filmed on screen in live action, that's a problem.
Critics online say, welcome back to reality, princess. Social media's got empty seating charts and GoFundMe jokes. And then there's Danica Patrick, ex-race car driver turned Trump cheerleader, who couldn't resist piling on. On March 30th, per Us Weekly, she reposted a video torching Rachel and the film's flop on her Instagram story, captioned with a savage bye-bye, subtle as a sledgehammer. Danica. The clip she shared blasted Rachel's corporate feminism meets TikTok activism, claiming studios like Disney benched her from Toy Story 5 and Pirates reboots. Rumors sure, but the shade stuck. Patrick, a card-carrying MAGA fan who stumped for Trump in 2024, clearly saw Rachel's anti-Trump rants as a personal invite to the roast. Her two-word kiss-off had X buzzing, some cheered, others cried foul, but it's peak 2025 chaos. A racer dunking on a princess while Disney's empire burns. The cleanup, more like a dumpster fire.
I just have to note the smugness and superiority on this 23, 25, something like that, girl's face. Young, a little bit of humility, you know? This is a story that's been around for a long, long time.
Guys, here's the, if you have a political view, man, it's okay to make comments on stuff, but when you're at that level, hell, even on YouTube, unless your channel, for example, unless your channel is strictly political, keep the bashing of whatever you don't believe to a minimum or low, because half the people watching you are those people. Half the people that were going to pay for those tickets were the people I think more than half actually, were the people that she was bashing. Half the people. Disney doesn't like that. That's money thrown away. You threw away all that money. You disrespected so many people. But not only is she disrespecting like Trump supporters or conservatives, whatever you want, she's disrespecting people who think a certain way, like, oh, a woman can think about love, or, you know, who she's going to marry, or she wants to find a prince. There's people on both sides who think that, you know, who think that way. She bashed them too. She bashed people on both sides. She bashed everybody, bro. Everybody.
You're not improving on it. So they took out the famous theme song, Someday My Prince Will Come, because it's not fair for a woman to live for love or want to find love or want to find a prince. They were not going to do that anymore, and they replaced it with the far more catchy song, this typical girl power anthem.
Feeling trapped by the walls that hold her,
feeling stuck in a story they've told her.
Numbers don't lie, unlike some egos. Thursday previews, $3.5 million. Opening weekend, $43 million. For a $250 million plus film, Dumbo did better on less. The Little Mermaid remake got $95 million out the gate. Ad marketing, $150 to $200 million, and reshoots at $50 million more. Total, $450 to $500 million. To break even, they'd need $1 billion. With $87 million global after opening, it's a bloodbath. Fast forward to April 1st, $142 million worldwide per Collider, with a second weekend drop to $14 million, a 66% nosedive, worse than Dumbo's. Disney's now projecting a $115 million loss after ancillaries, says Deadline, but whisperings on X peg it closer to $300 million when the dust settles. That's not just a flop, it's a corporate catastrophe. Investors are probably drafting Zell memos while execs pray for a miracle over spring break.
Disney threw her under the bus, but I mean, not unjustifiably so. You can't be like, Rachel Zegler's innocent and all this. She did no damage to the box office. We're seeing it because of her.
Rachel says, I hope people wait in line to see me like the winged victory at the Louvre. Bold for a premiere with more tumbleweeds than tickets. Ian Miles Cheong on X called this Disney's worst live action remake ever. Now that clip's a viral punching bag, resurfacing as the film creators, with fans on social media cackling at the irony of her Louvre dreams versus empty seats.
BBC said Disney's Snow White has a major identity crisis. I mean, guys, every single one of these reviews is just absolutely brutal. And what you also need to know is that these are not politically driven reviews. I mean, most of them are from the camp that should be supporting Disney, that should be behind this new progressive take on Snow White, and yet they can't because the film is apparently just that bad.
It's a masterclass in hubris. Rachel dared it to fail with her woke antics. She trashed Snow White, calling Prince Charming a stalker, and the 1937 film a weird.
Wow.
Newsflash, people like fairy tales, the magic, the romance, the timeless vibe. Not everything has to be a woman winning solo, stomping on men to prove a point. Snow White and her prince saving each other, that's a win for both. A story with heart. But Rachel and Disney were too busy flexing feminist cred. She bragged about ditching the love story for empowerment, like, congrats, you turned a classic into a soapbox. Audiences don't want lectures, they want entertainment. Disney's girl boss obsession over fun sank this ship. Peter Dinklage griped about CGI dwarfs too, calling it a backwards move despite their progressive.
Yo, that's another thing. Why would you have CGI dwarfs when you have monster actors like Peter Dinklage, and there's a whole bunch of other ones that have dwarfism that could have played 7 dwarfs? And I'm sure Peter Dinklage could, if they couldn't find other ones besides him, I'm sure they could have hired him and said, hey, can you get us 6 more? I'm sure he could have found them. I'm pretty sure. He's like, when it comes to people with dwarfism, he's like the top of the top, bro. And he's a very, very good actor. Why would you have CGI? Spend more money on CGI. I think it would be cheaper to hire actual actors. It'll be cheaper because you have to hire a CGI team. That's a lot of money. That's crazy, bro. That is insane.
Casting. Dwarf actors like Jason Acuna echoed him, per Daily Mail furious at lost jobs. The woke cleanup bombed harder than the evil queen's apple.
It's a bad thing. I'm not agreeing with it. One, because you're replacing jobs that people could have as little people. Okay. Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, it's 4 dwarfs. Yeah. Why are you hiring Snow White and the 7 average people?
Post-election, it's made Trump supporters never know peace. Classy, alienating half your audience, genius. Disney hired a social media babysitter after her posts racked up quadruple the trailer's views per Variety.
Trump wins, and Rachel decides to go on really just a psychopathic, demented rant, basically accusing all Trump supporters of being awful people, which is par for the course. I'm okay with that. But then she wished harm on Trump and all of his supporters for the next years to come. And you're so out of touch, you've never probably even...
That's the thing, guys. When you're at that level, you know what I'm saying? When you're operating at that level where you have millions of people watching, you've got to be careful. There comes a point where on your rise to fame, when you got to be careful what you say. You can't just alienate. I'm not saying you can't have your opinions and your thoughts, but you gotta be able to kind of, I hate to say it, play both sides, you know, kind of just stay neutral. There's a lot of actors that are very good at that. Very good at staying neutral, you know what I'm saying? She definitely did not.
Spoken to a farmer or a rancher, you don't know any people to speak up who have issues filling up their tank. You've just been living in Hollywood, La La Land for so long.
Pedro Pascal called her an icon on March 31st per Tribune, but fans slammed him for backing a sinking ship too late. Her political grenades lit the fuse. The Gal Gadot shade is frosty. Smiles during filming turned to Rachel's pageant queen jab at the 2025 Oscars. Why? Gal's Israeli roots clashed with Rachel's Palestine posts. Posts so reckless Disney paid for Gadot's extra security after threats. Fans on X now blame Gadot's wooden acting too, calling her the true poison apple. But Rachel's ego started this fire. Rumors are that they had problems on set with Gal Gadot getting her lines wrong, and it was frustrating Rachel during filming. But that's the least of her worries. But it definitely doesn't help.
Gal Gadot. There's nothing bad to say about Gal Gadot. About Wonder Woman, bro? Come on, man. Come on, stop. That is a powerful, she is mentally a powerful woman. She's a great actress, very good looking. I mean, this is an incredible flop, bro. Incredible flop. And it's sad to see.
This film at all. Gal Gadot's acting in this film is horrific. I think I rolled my eyes at least 5 times during her lines.
Also, there's nothing wrong with wanting a man. Can we not have chivalry in this world anymore? There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I'd love for a man to come scoop me up and provide for me.
TLDR, the girls and the gays, we all want a man. We all dream about true love. So Disney, that is not outdated.
Rachel's woke disaster has execs sweating. If a $270 million fairy tale can bomb this hard because of preachy overreach, maybe audiences want escapism, not lectures. Insiders whisper Disney's toning down virtue, signaling for future remakes like Lilo and Stitch. Daily Mail reports Hollywood's in crisis mode, dumping trans actors and liberal scripts after Snow White's flop sparked an anti-woke U-turn. Rachel didn't just tank this, she might have accidentally saved Tinseltown from its sermon spree. Rachel's ego wrote a check her talent couldn't cash. She thought she'd preach her way to stardom, but that woke posturing made Snow White a cautionary tale. Audiences don't line up for sanctimony, they want stories. This one's DOA. Did Rachel kill this film, or was it doomed? Like if you love the tea and subscribe for more Hollywood train wreck.
Yeah, she definitely ruined it, guys. I just can't believe this. This is incredible. The crash on this is incredible, man. Incredible. I'm at a loss for words. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, man. I mean, there's nothing more to be said, man. There's nothing more to be said about this. Let me know what you guys think, man. Like and subscribe, guys. Follow me on social media. And if you got anything you want me to react to, go ahead and put it in the comments below and I will get to it as soon as I can. And as always, go woke, go broke, man. Go too woke, go broke. I'll see you on the next smoke, guys. It's incredible, man.